Hello, ghouls! How are you doing? Today we are celebrating because exactly 1 year ago, Ghost released their sixth album, Skeletá, a record that feels very different from their previous work and one that has earned the band some of the most important recognition of their career. So today we are going to take a look at this album's achievements. Let's go! Skeletá was released on April 25th, 2025, while the band was on tour with the Skeletor under Loma Vista Recordings and produced by Tobias, this time under the alias Gene Walker. To celebrate the release, the band hosted a live stream presented by Vanessa Warwick, where, alongside a recap of the band's lore, fans got the chance to listen to the full album for the very first time. There was also a midnight sale on the night of April 24th to 25th in selected record stores worldwide. Fans were able to purchase the album at 12:01 a.m. and receive an official crucifix stamp on their copy. The album features 10 tracks blending genres like hard rock, arena rock, pop rock, and glam metal. It has been described as Ghost's most introspective album to date, exploring themes like love, loss, faith, and guilt.
And I wanted to make a record that was more introspective and more representative of core human elements and core human sentiments and the things that make us human and alive, instead of focusing on demise and death and destruction. And that felt like a very enthusing theme for me, and now when the record is there, I feel that that's exactly what I want to contribute with as we move forward.
Satanized is the third track on the album and its first single, released on March 5th, 2025. The music video follows a monk tormented by his feelings of lust. During the guitar solo, the older man is exorcised by a priest. But right after, a nun tempts him and ultimately tricks him into falling back into sin. As everything spirals, the man begins to spin in a black void, and that's when Papa V Perpetua is slowly revealed, alongside the new nameless ghouls. Tobias described the song as being about love and how it can feel almost like possession, because it's a force that completely takes over you.
I came up with the idea of writing a song that was, at face value, was going to be perceived as a song about being possessed, but it's actually a song about being in love. And you know how being in love, especially if you're, the feeling itself can be like that, even though you're even if you're experienced enough to detect what you're going through. But from a religious point of view, and if you're superstitious, and especially back in time, where maybe that the feeling of being in love is a strange one that you've never experienced before. It feels like being possessed by a demon that is hurting you.
The second single, Lacrima, was released on April 11th, 2025, and it quickly became a fan favorite, not just for its emotional weight, but for its haunting music video, which revealed something fans had never seen before: the unmistakable facial expressions of Papa Perpetua. If Satanized was about being possessed by love, then Lacrima feels like an exorcism to break free from it. The word lacrima, Latin for tear, immediately places the song in a space of sorrow, catharsis, and vulnerability. It dives deep into the decay of a relationship and the self-empowerment that comes from emotional detachment.
Yeah, that's a song about, I guess, self-deceit, and definitely one of my favorites of the record. That's one of the songs that throughout the recording I always sort of fell back on as like, even if the rest turn out to be mediocre shit, I think this is gonna be this is fine. This is cool.
The track was nominated at the 68th Annual Grammy Awards for Best Metal Performance, although it didn't win. However, it did take home Best Swedish Song at the 2026 Bandit Rock Awards. Peaceful is the opening track of the album and its third single. It was revealed on April 21st and premiered the following day. The music video blends footage from the Skeletor with cinematic imagery and Christian references. As the first track, it sets the tone for the entire album. And just like the title suggests, after a battlefield comes a place of peace and hope.
I wanted to set a tone of hope in the beginning, even though it's addressing very contemporary, tempestuous issues. I wanted to sort of add a hand to the listener that it'll be all fine, but we're gonna go sideways now and go on a little trip.
Finally, Umbra, the last single from the album, was released on February 13th, 2026, just one day before Valentine's Day, and on a Friday the 13th, which is definitely no coincidence. The song explores carnal desire and the need to break free from the judgment that keeps us from embracing what makes us feel alive. An Umbra, or shade, is a mythological phantom, the remains of the dead without a physical body or a place to rest. A ghost. That's why. Throughout the music video, Perpetua remains hidden in the shadows, almost like a dark guide leading the protagonists.
And one of the most important things I think that really speaks to one of our most primordial urges is the idea to obviously meet mentally and intellectually and soul wise, but it's also physical contact and physical explosion together. And I just wanted there to be a sort of an towards the end climactic coital song about banging.
All of the music videos, directed by Amir Chamdin, were also very well received and have amassed a huge number of views to this day. Skeletá debuted at number 1 on the US Billboard 200, moving an impressive 86,000 album equivalent units in its first week, including 77,000 pure album sales. This marks only the second time a Swedish artist has ever reached the top of the Billboard 200, following Ace of Base with The Sign back in 1993. On top of that, Skeletá became the first hard rock album to hit number 1 since 2020, and it also scored the biggest sales week for any rock, hard rock, or alternative album in 2025. And it doesn't stop there. The album achieved the biggest vinyl sales week for hard rock LP since the Luminate era began in 1991, and the biggest for any rock album since 2023. Skeletá was also crowned Album of the Year 2025 by Metal Hammer, voted by their staff and contributors, and it was named Best Album of the Year by Sweden Rock Magazine. And as if that wasn't enough, Ghost earned 6 nominations at the Swedish Grammys, including major categories like Album of the Year, Artist of the Year, and Producer of the Year. So yeah, this era may have ended on a bittersweet note, especially because of how the Skeletor came to a close. But there's no doubt it was an era filled with success, milestones, and so many unforgettable moments for both the band and the fans. And one thing's for sure, we'll be here for whatever comes next. Now it's your turn. What was your favorite moment from this era? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss more ghost content. And remember,
Go live your lives, goddammit.